All right, everybody, it is Mother's Day. Mothers, stand up. Truly, none of us would be here without mothers. And we are grateful, mothers. All right, everyone, be of good cheer. We approach the end of these ceremonies. The President is now supposed to offer wise words to our graduates. But as I'm wont to say at this point in our long commencement proceedings, I do always feel like the corpse at an Irish wake. They need you to have the party, but they don't expect you to say anything. But I don't get paid if I don't say something. Brevity, however, will rule. Think about successful institutions like William and Mary and successful people like you all. It's fair to say that successful institutions and successful people are always adapting creatively to change and always trying to do better, even when they're already doing very well. And one obvious reason for us all, each of us, to remain under construction is that the world is constantly changing around us on every side. It's people, it's technology, it's understanding of reality. It's constantly changing. When I was in college, and yes, it's true, I once was in college when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Back then, geologists were just beginning to imagine that tectonic plates well beneath the Earth's crust might be constantly sliding the continents around and crashing them into one another. Well, it isn't just tectonic plates beneath us that are bumping and grinding away all the time. The way we gather and exchange information keeps changing at blazing speed, and things keep coming at us, at each of us, from all directions and from many different cultural perspectives. So these days, we either remain under construction or we quickly become irrelevant. Simply put, to live life meaningfully is to keep changing. And this takes, among other virtues, a capacity to think rigorously, an ability to tackle problems creatively, and an openness to cultures and to ideas different from our own. I believe William and Mary prepares its students for rigorous thinking, creative problem solving, and the capacity to keep expanding intellectual and cultural horizons. But, it is also crucial to know what not to change, even as everything else in our lives does change. We need anchors to steady us, particularly when the wind howls and the rain pours in our lives. Each of us has got to forge our own anchors, in my judgment, if these anchors are to be powerful enough to hold us personally when the times get tough. Director Mueller has already talked about some anchors, and I'll mention one that he mentioned. Let me suggest 4 anchors that seem especially important to me. First, integrity. Taking care that we live our lives so we can actually look ourselves in the mirror every morning when we get up to brush our teeth. Second, a capacity to give and to receive love, and to give and to receive friendship. Third, a willingness to devote some of our time and talent to the service of others without expecting to be paid for doing it. And fourth, a belief in something greater than ourselves, whether this belief is rooted in religious faith or on another commitment that transcends any sense that we personally are the center of all that matters. So graduates, expect to stay under constant construction and welcome the opportunities that come with that process of constant recreation, but also know what not to change, even as everything else in life does. Forge some powerful personal anchors. You've already begun doing it quite well, to hold you true to your core commitments. And of course, beyond the 4 anchors that I just mentioned, there is one other anchor I should mention as well, and that's a lifelong tie to your alma mater, the magnificent College of William and Mary. This college will always care about each of you. It always will, and you should care about it. Now, it's time for a rousing cheer, actually 2 cheers. First, a cheer to our royal progenitors, King William and Queen Mary, and then to the marvelous class of 2013. First, we'll roar for the King and Queen because, frankly, if they hadn't created us, we wouldn't be here. Then we will cheer for you graduates, because if you hadn't scaled William and Mary's academic heights and emerged on top with your fur intact, we wouldn't be here either. Now, these cheers are going to be in kind of the call and response mode. I'll propose the cheer, and everybody will respond. I'll propose a cheer first for King William, and the men in the hall throughout will all roar William, William, William 3 times. And then we'll do that with Mary, and the women will roar for Mary. Then I'll call for a cheer for the class of 2013, and that'll be 2013, 2013, 2013. Now, this works smashingly well when everybody cooperates. It's a real dog when I'm up here doing it alone. So I just want to have a brief practice. Are you ready, guys, on William? William. A little louder. William. Good, all right. Women, Mary. Did you hear that, guys? So when we get to it, all right, let's all practice 2013. 2013. Wonderful. All right, everyone. Let's hear it, men, for King William. And now Mary. And now the great class of 2013, everybody. 2013. Excellent.